Before I get into today's video, I'd like to make a very happy announcement. We just recently surpassed 200 subscribers. Thanks to all of you guys for subbing and supporting this channel. I think it was only like a month and a half ago that we hit 100 subs, so we're growing at a pretty fast rate. My current milestone goal is to hit 250 by the end of the year, and we could very well blow that out of the water. So thank you guys for all your support, and here's to a very prosperous future. Now, on to the video. And happy Halloween, I guess. I don't really have anything special to do for the occasion. I kind of considered reading the Hellsing manga and doing something for that, but I never got around to it. So whatever, we're just going to do Chainsaw Man. Which is fine, I guess, because Chainsaw Man has Halloween coming out the ass. It has all the Halloween in the universe. So I guess it works pretty well for a video to do on Halloween. Now, unfortunately, this isn't one of those wacky, wild, zany Chainsaw Man chapters, like a lot of the ones you've been getting recently. This one is it's one of those heavy Chainsaw Man chapters, which I like, because I think Chainsaw Man, in contrast to its absurd title and premise, does heavy stuff really well. Much better than a lot of other manga, especially Shonen Jump manga. I guess this chapter is the final goodbye for Power. As I mentioned last week, a little bit, is that Power didn't really get like a lot of stuff wrapped up before she got banged in chapter 81, so her coming back was not too surprising. But it seems like her return was mostly so that she could get some finality with Denji here, and see like some actual character development from her, and that she actually risks her life to save Denji from Makima, and she doesn't even understand why she's doing it. Power's original belief was that all lives are equally trivial, including her own, so whenever someone dies, it's nothing to be sad about, and yet Denji can't die. And why is that? Because Denji is her very first friend. And we get a scene very reminiscent of the first chapter in the series. We've been getting a lot of throwback stuff recently. I'll get into why I think that is at the end of this video. And Denji, who like appears as Denji now, it's been a little while. It's been like 8 chapters, which is about 2 months in our time, since we've seen Denji himself in the flesh. And he just talks about how his life that we've seen him experience throughout the series was like a dream come true in comparison to what his life was before when he was indebted to the Yakuza. But he doesn't think that anything good in his life will ever happen again. Because, all of that stuff Makima said to him. And then Power basically calls him an idiot, and then explains to him that when devils die, they're resurrected in hell. So if they meet again, she won't be Power, and they might be enemies, because, devil. So she gives Denji her blood, as a contract, and says that she will give him her blood, and in return, he has to come and find her and befriend the Blood Devil so that the Blood Devil can become Power again. And he bursts out of the dumpster all by himself. And it's just like the start of the series again. And I think the significance of this, when we compare the two scenes, is that Pochita resurrected Denji because he wanted Denji to show him his dreams and live a normal life. And that's basically what Power is doing here, is she is giving Denji a goal that he can pursue, once again, as Denji has set for himself throughout the series, and he can find a way to be happy that does not involve Makima. So Makima has said herself, Denji, all of your happiness for the rest of your life will be created and destroyed by me. Well, it seems the way to beat Makima is to not let her do that, which I quite like. I mentioned, it must have been back in my Chapter 81 review, that a lot of Chainsaw Man seems like kind of an allegory about abuse, because it's basically just Denji getting abused throughout the whole series. And a big deal with abuse is trying to get away from the abuser, especially because a lot of the time they have this really strong emotional grip on their victim, and it becomes very hard to get away from them, even though the person may want to get away. They just can't bring themselves to do it. And Makima being this, like, all-powerful entity, it sort of makes that more literal. Is that it's basically impossible to get away from her. And that she's always in control of your life, like an abuser. So, Power being one of Denji's first real friends, one of the people that was able to give him a normal life, basically gives him a reason and way to be happy that says, fuck Makima. You can do it without her, which is great. So the last scene of the chapter is Denji waking up, and he starts crying, calling for Power, which is pretty depressing. But Kishibe is here. I guess he followed them around. It'd be really convenient if he just happened to end up in the alleyway where Kishibe was getting wasted. Can you imagine that? You're some middle-aged Japanese man who's seen a bunch of shit. You're trying to get wasted in an alleyway. And then these two half-dead hell beasts come crawling down the alleyway with all of their entrails dragging behind them and go into a dumpster. Wouldn't that be the weirdest shit ever? I'm sure Kishibe's seen weirder, though. But anyway, Kishibe offers him the option to escape from Makima for the time being. And Denji accepts this. Or he proves, at least, that he's not a chainsaw monster by, like, doing a peace sign thing or whatever. Because it's Denji. He's back. Denji is back, which is great. So, what exactly is going to happen? I don't know. Maybe they'll flee the country. I doubt that would do very much. Maybe they'll go to hell? Because that kind of seems like the only place where Makima can't do anything. Or at least not everything. Because Makima had to go through Prince to get there. And Prince had to, like, follow them into hell, I think. And also there are other devils there that are not a big fan of Makima. So he would actually probably be fine in hell. Presuming they don't try to kill him. I'm sure they would come to some kind of agreement where, hey, as long as you don't do your Chainsaw Man thing, we'll keep Makima off your back, alright? Alright. Something like that, maybe. Now, the other thing I need to address is that, allegedly, the series is going to be ending very soon. Like, there's an announcement in the Raws or something, I don't know. And this is not too surprising. A lot of people, including me, had been assuming for a while that the series was going to be ending soon. I know I had, like, some doubts about it recently, because it just sort of seemed like a bunch of possibilities were opening up. But, I mean, like, we're in, like, pretty endgame stuff. Both of the two supporting main characters are dead. The main character has unlocked this godlike ability. The main antagonist is, like, following them around everywhere. There's not too much else to do. And Fujimoto doesn't really do long series. So, I never expected Chainsaw Man to go on super long. I never thought it would go very far beyond 100 chapters. So it seems like that's probably right. I don't know how soon it's going to end. I just hope it ends well. And so far I trust Fujimoto with that. What does that mean for this channel with Chainsaw Man ending? I mean, I already finished my Bleach reviews, but that was the only series that I'd done videos on that was already completed. So what am I going to do when Chainsaw Man finishes? Well, that's very simple. I'll find new shit to do videos on. I have not started them yet, but there are two Shonen Jump series that I may get into soon. Undead Unluck and Phantom Seer. I've heard they're both fairly good. Whenever I get into them, if I like them, and I think there's something I'd like to talk about, and, like, have discussions with people about, I'll do videos on them. It's that simple. So, I'm not too concerned about the series ending. My only concern is that it has a satisfying conclusion, and that reading through the whole thing over again will be a good, cohesive narrative. But yeah, with that, that's really all I have to say. with this being my Halloween video, I hope you all have a very enjoyable spooky day this year. I know the circumstances this time around are very different from the average Halloween, so I hope you all find some way to enjoy yourselves. I know I'm going to try. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. I do Chainsaw Man reviews every week. If you enjoy other series such as Record of Ragnarok, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Kengan Omega, I do videos on those series as well, so if you're interested in those, you should definitely check out my channel. If you enjoy discussing Chainsaw Man with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce on this channel, I highly suggest check out my Discord server. I have a link to it on my channel. Thanks for watching, I'll see you around, and have a happy Halloween.